7 minutes into the fourth quarter, they are able to come back at the win over the Memphis Grizzlies, 117-112. Celtics now a season high, 24 games above 500. A Celtics postgame live. Tom Giles, Chris Forsberg, Eddie House. Eddie, I'll start with you. Wasn't easy against this young Memphis team, but why were the Celtics able to get it done tonight?
Well, I thought that in that fourth quarter, you had Peyton Pritchard out there, you had Ugo, you had Derek White, you had Garza, and you had Baylor Shireman. And Shireman was hustling out there. Garza was on the glass. And we had 18 offensive rebounds. And I think that's the main thing that kept us in this game, that we were able to get second chance opportunities to where we were turning the basketball over a lot. We had 13 turnovers. I think we only had 19 assists. And so we got to clean that up a little bit and start sharing that ball a little bit more. But to be able to get out of Memphis with the W is huge.
They were distracted by all the wrestling night stuff going on in Memphis. But able to lock in late. I love the way Luka Garza has embraced this second kind of re-entry into the rotation. Once Vooch got hurt, his minutes go back up. The hustle is just a differentiator for this team. Those offensive rebounds, I mean, Eddie laid it out with the whole totality of the offensive rebounds, but Garza, I think 6 of his 8 were on the offensive glass. Seemed like every time they needed to kind of get a bucket, he was there to clean something up and create another opportunity. Giles, I keep saying it, best Luka in the league.
Okay, well, it was 98-91, just a few minutes into the fourth quarter, and that's where we got the turning point, which is presented by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Turn it around, take control. It's possible with the solution for weight loss. Reserve your consult at awaken180weightloss.com. And it was Derek White turning it around for the Celtics again, down by 7. You see Derek White start to get it going. He had 3 buckets in a row for the Celtics to tie the game at 98. How good was he in the fourth quarter?
In the fourth quarter, Derek, this is what he does, right? And I love that Joe held JB and JT off the court for the first 6+ minutes of the quarter, and it was clear, like a little bit of a challenge to Derek. Go figure this out. Go keep this thing afloat. And Derek responded in the best possible way. You know, again, everybody was kind of sloppy all night, and Derek was in there as well. But to get those buckets, to steady this team, and give yourself a chance down the finish line was huge. And
that was the turning point where they went on that run, Eddie. And you also look at down the stretch as we go through some of these highlights here. It was everyone else contributing, whether it be Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Luka Garza, Jason Tatum. You mentioned all those guys, but as we go through the video of all those plays, you mentioned, everyone's contributing. But, again, the Celtics found themselves down by a point, and then you got Jaylen Brown with this tough bucket against Cam Spencer. That made it 104-103. Another Derek White right here gets the bucket and the foul. Celtics go up 106-103. Jaylen Brown with the fall away here. Inside the paint, Celtics go up by 5. Jason Tatum, meanwhile, loses the handle here for a second, but sticks with it, gets the lay-in. 110-103. And then Luka Garza, even with the one-handed pass from Jaylen Brown.
That was nice.
Wasn't it? That made it 112-103, and Luka Garza. This is how you mentioned the offensive rebounds, Eddie, but this one takes the cake here. Just the extra effort, things go right for you. But your thoughts on them down the stretch and some of these plays?
Well, I thought that we started clicking in that fourth quarter with that lineup that I named with Garza, Ugo, Pritchard, Derek White, and Baylor Shireman. I thought the energy changed. You know what I mean? They started getting after, they started getting stops, and then once they brought back in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the momentum was already changed. And so it was already flowing in that way. And you got to give Derek White credit, Garza credit, Baylor Shireman. Everybody gets credit for this win because this was one of them games where they kind of looked like they were stuck in mud all night. And then finally, that fourth quarter, about, 8 minutes, then they started kicking in and finding their form and rounded in the form and showed that there's levels to this and was able to get that win.
Yeah, that one run there where they were able to erase the 7-point deficit. They had that other run at the end of the game there, a 10-0 run that led to 21-5 run overall. All right, for the guy who had 11 points in the fourth quarter, Derek White, he's standing by with Abby Chin back in Memphis.
Derek, you played that entire fourth quarter. Joe started without either of the Jays on the floor. What was your mindset?
I was playing as bad as it gets for 3 quarters, so I had to kind of help the team out a little bit. And so, that's a lineup that we've used a lot this year. And obviously, Joe's got a lot of confidence in it. So, found a way to get a win, and let's get back home.
Nothing but winning plays from you in that quarter. And Luka Garza, how big was he, and how big is he for this group?
Yeah, he's amazing. He plays so hard every single second he's out there. He does so many little things for us, and ultimate competitor. So big plays all game, really. Kind of kept us in it, and huge plays down the stretch.
This was a Grizzlies team that fought hard. You guys were down by 7 in the fourth. What do wins like this do for you?
Yeah, that's tough. Teams that got a bunch of guys that are just fighting for their lives, fighting for their career, playing as hard as they can. And so, obviously, there's a lot of things we need to do better, but it's good to do a win.
A win is a win, Derek. Thank you. Congratulations.
Yep.
All right, so the Celtics get the win. This one a lot more challenging than the first matchup between these two teams, but they get the sweep there, and again move to 47-23 on the season. Drew and Scal joining us now back in Memphis, and Celtics also picking up their 14th clutch win of the year. Fellas, your thoughts?
Yeah, Giles. I think you go into this game against a Grizzlies team that had lost 8 in a row before beating the Nuggets on Wednesday. Memphis is missing 11 guys. They have more dudes in street clothes than in uniform. And you think maybe this will be an easy one for the Celtics. They rolled them at home by 36 points earlier in the season. But this is a good reminder of, how deep the talent is in the NBA, how hard guys will play if they're trying to hang on to a roster spot in the league. And the Grizzlies gave the Celtics everything they could handle tonight.
Yeah, I think the big point of this game was when the Celtics came out flat, Ty Jerome hit 2 crazy three-pointers. And then he left that same group in there. He trusted that group would figure it out. I thought that was huge because it's easy. It's so easy just to put your star players right back into the game. But he challenged Derek White, I'm assuming, or Derek White just said, come on, what I did was not up to my standard. And all of a sudden he makes a 3, and all of a sudden he makes, I think, that floater, and it got the momentum back. And then Garza in the fourth quarter was awesome.
They're so upset about us talking about the Celtics win that they're trying to dim the lights on us and walking in front of the camera as well. There we go. But Scal, Derek White, it's almost like we're running out of different ways to say the same thing, which is no matter what he does in the first 3 quarters, and in this one he had 3 points through 3 quarters. We know he impacts the game in many more ways than just by scoring, but only 3 points in the first 3 quarters. It's absolute chaos here post game. And then he goes for 11 points in the fourth, and he's setting guys up and he's making defensive plays. He's just amazing to watch.
I think Derek White could sometimes get lost in, okay, we got Brown here, we have Tatum here, Peyton Pritchard. But he can also say, like, he is really good, and he's really competitive, and he has a look in his eyes like he wants to win. And that's what I saw in the fourth quarter. So that's why we get the Derek White making fourth quarter threes, or he's huge in the clutch, or he leads the league in fourth quarter three-point shooting, or fourth quarter 3 points made in the past. So those are the type of things that we expect from Derek White, but it's not an easy thing to do, especially when you don't get many touches throughout the game, just to flip a switch like that. But that's part of being great, and that's part of why we are a championship-level team.
Yeah, give the Celtics a lot of credit, guys, for winning a game where they shoot 26% from 3 on the road. And look, is it Memphis? Yes, but I think it's an important game because we showed you the standings during the game. The Pistons won, the Knicks won, and this is a tough schedule for the Celtics down the stretch. You got to get the games that you're supposed to win.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything from this game and say, like, yes, the Brown-Tatum combination in the fourth quarter in a really tough game is going to be amazing, but I feel like we're going to learn something this week. I am really looking forward because we're not going to beat any of the 3 teams this week if we don't play better than we did in the first 3 quarters. So I'm really excited about these next 3 games and what it could be, and I'm really excited about Tatum and Brown both playing well, like what we're used to seeing. We haven't really seen a game where that has happened against a really tough, hard-nosed, physical, handsy opponent.
Yeah, it was not a cakewalk today, Giles, but the Celtics do come away with the victory on this little short trip to Memphis, and it'll be good to be home on Sunday.
All right, and they got Minnesota there, OKC, then Atlanta, as you guys laid out at the end of the broadcast. So Celtics taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves in that one, fellas. Thanks so much. Again, 117-112, your final score. And you go through some of the numbers here. You got Jaylen Brown, who had 30 points in this one, leading the way. Luka Garza, though, with 22. That's a season high to go with 7 rebounds. We'll be talking more about them. And Derek White